The Coyote Twin, Vermilion's downtown theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Coming up on Coyote News, a student from New York shares his passion for pancakes.
Plus, the only pet that doesn't need certification to live on campus. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Good evening, I'm Sierra Prue.
And I'm Rachel Peckosh. We'll have those stories and more, but first.
Last night, the Vermilion School Board held a special meeting to decide whether or not to permit transgender students to use the bathroom of their gender identity. The board voted 3-2 in favor of moving the policy forward. Another discussion is scheduled for next week at the board's regular meeting. Community members voiced opinions throughout the night regarding biology, equipment changes, and how this policy affects adults in the restrooms.
One thing that happened in Vermilion when I had my oldest son, as we were driving down Main Street, we had seen a homosexual transgender parade, and as a parent and a father, having to explain why these people were so prideful of that is absolutely angering to me and just sick.
When you look at these children, you won't know. These children are children, and they're girls, and transgender girls are girls, and transgender boys are boys. And these children are being who they are, and we need to support that. So I'm in full support of this. Thank you.
The entire discussion is viewable on the Vermilion School Board's YouTube page. School Board President Doug Peterson led the meeting and joins Coyote News' Michael Stake live in the muck. Michael?
Thanks, Sierra. I'm here with Doug Peterson, School Board President. What were the main concerns shared with the board last night?
Well, thank you for having me, Michael. There were concerns from parties on each side of the issue. Obviously, the biggest concern for everyone is safety of the students using restrooms. Want to know that students have a safe place where they feel comfortable and can use a restroom that aligns with how they identify. Obviously, other community members have concerns about whether or not someone would be able to simply enter a restroom, so that a boy could walk into a girl's room. And the policy is written such that that wouldn't be the case.
And what are the students saying about this?
We've had students appear at earlier meetings, and most of the student presentations have been supportive and indicative that they don't really think about this. As one of the speakers that you showed indicates, that girls are girls, boys are boys. And so I haven't heard much from the students specifically that oppose the policy.
Lastly, some community members say the issue has been rushed to a vote. Has it?
I don't believe so. We have been talking about this. We were actually at the beginning of the year waiting to get guidance from the Department of Education from the Biden administration. They had indicated they would provide guidance. They had not done so. And so we began discussing the policy in September. Last night was the fourth meeting at which we've had discussions and public comment. It was actually one of the shorter ones with about an hour and a half or so of public comment and discussion, and I expect there will be more comments next week. So we've been working through this, trying to follow all of our protocols, make sure that the public is informed and has an opportunity to ask questions, and they ask great questions, and that the board has an opportunity to discuss what's going to work best for Vermilion schools.
Thank you for being here today.
My pleasure.
Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Michael Stake.
Thanks, Michael. The next board meeting will be held on Monday in the Vermilion City Hall.
A student organization is celebrating a holiday that falls between Halloween and Thanksgiving. Dia de los Muertos, known in English as Day of the Dead, is a holiday that originated in Mexico. Graciela Dianda is the co-president of the Latin American and Hispanic student organization and says that the holiday has a deep cultural and spiritual significance.
With Day of the Dead, it's more celebrating those loved ones that have passed away, and it's also a way to honor those people who have passed away, and we do that through altars, shrines, and that's the main thing about Day of the Dead. It's celebrating those loved ones.
Next event is the Cesar Chavez Blood Drive, which will be held in April. LASSO meets in the Center for Diversity and Community every Thursday at 5:30.
Norton Hall residents may not wake up to the smell of pancakes, but they can fall asleep to it at least one night a week. A transfer student brought his love of cooking when he moved to USD. Tom Pemrick has a weekly tradition that he calls Pancake Night. His pancake passion began as a freshman at New York State, but he says it's not just about cooking and serving.
For me, it's not so much about the pancakes, but it's about all the friends and all the people I have come together on Tuesday night and just talk to each other, have a good time. You know, some people, it's college, we're all really busy, right? But sometimes when you slow down, you know, hang out with your friends, that means a lot to people. So.
These students not only eat pancakes, they also relax and even sing. To participate in Pancake Night, you can find Pemrick cooking in the Norton 3 kitchen Tuesday evenings at 8.
There are 22 students currently living on campus with either a service or emotional support animal. Coyote News' Jen Harada talked with Campus Housing to learn more about the rules and regulations of housing animals.
While service animals and emotional support animals are allowed in on-campus housing, normal pets are not. Assistant Director of Housing Cody Burgraff says that the Fair Housing Act protects the rights of those with service and emotional support animals.
Protects folks in their rights to live somewhere that they don't own and have like renting a place like a residence hall or even an apartment off campus. There's certain things landlords, which in this case housing is the landlord, has to do according to federal law that would be easy for somebody to say they couldn't do if this Fair Housing Act wasn't there to protect like emotional support animals and service animals. Somebody could say, no, you can't. But if a doctor says, no, they need this to function as a normal human being, that's why that law was implemented.
Emotional support animals are certified by a physician and they provide relief to individuals who suffer from an emotional or mental disability. Service animals are working animals that have been trained to do tasks that assist disabled people. According to the Americans with Disabilities Act, an emotional support animal encompasses animals from all species. For Coyote News, I'm Jen Harada.
The only non-certified pets allowed in campus housing are fish. The fish must be kept in a 20-gallon or smaller tank, and the owner must regularly clean the tank.
Still to come on Coyote News, Hannah Montana brings the best of both worlds to campus.
This is Coyote News.
Spectrum closes LGBTQ+ month by giving back during their Halloween celebration. Spectrum and Students for Reproductive Rights joined forces for their first Halloween extravaganza last Friday. Students could get tarot readings, tea leaf readings, horoscopes, and more. The proceeds from the event benefited the Vermilion Domestic Violence Safe Options Services.
They help inform the public, but more specifically women, on what the signs of domestic violence are and how to get out of it, but they also provide like cell phones, they provide shelter, clothing, food, etc. So they are a really great resource in Vermilion that not a lot of people know about.
The event was able to raise $150. In addition to fundraising, McKee Hemingway says this was a great event to show more spiritual diversity on campus. USD's Campus Activities Board hosts events for students to attend throughout the year. CAB has put on events like concerts, Build a Buddy, and set up DIY survival kits to get students through stressful weeks like midterms and finals. Some of the items in these kits include socks, notebooks, chocolate, potted plants, and stickers.
We put on events like this as a little grab and go for students to choose things that may make them a little less stressed, or to do things with their friends that kind of give them a new opportunity to hang out and spend time with other students.
CAB events are frequently held throughout the week in the muck for student convenience. CAB will be hosting an event for Harry Potter fans on November 12th.
This Halloween, students found ways to bring their costumes to the next level. One student hosted a Halloween concert, which also served as a fundraiser for Dakotathon, as Coyote News' Josie Wright reports.
Senior Peyton Riz dressed up for Halloween this year as Hannah Montana. She committed to the role by putting on a concert in Old Main. Riz made a poster for the event and invited others to attend the performance. She sang the majority of the songs as Hannah Montana and one at the end as Miley Stewart. She had many guest performers with her, including several volunteers from the crowd.
I've been a part of Dakotathon for the last 2 years, and we raised a bunch of money 2 weeks ago for our push week, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to be hosting this concert, why don't I use it as a way to donate money towards it so people that come can donate after, just for fun. And I've always, as a kid, wanted to be Hannah Montana, and I want those kids to be able to be their childhood heroes one day, so raising money for them was a really good motivation.
Attendees who wanted to donate Venmo'd Riz after the performance or put cash in a jar at the front of the stage. The event was successful in gaining donations for the cause, as well as providing attendees with an entertaining performance. For Coyote News, I'm Josie Wright.
Riz made $50 in donations from her Hannah Montana concert.
Last Friday, the Coyotes hosted the second annual drive-through trick-or-treating party. The community was invited to participate to trick-or-treat as well as dress up in their Halloween costumes. Located in the Dome parking lot, there was a long line of vehicles waiting to get candy from USD students. This event was created during the COVID-19 pandemic as a safer alternative to traditional trick-or-treating. This way, both USD students and Vermilion residents can celebrate Halloween together safely.
Among the many Halloween-themed gatherings in the past week was a party hosted by USD's Esports Club. The Monster Mash took place in the Esports Arena, where club members invited the public for games, snacks, music, and more.
Just wanted it to be a way to for the community to come together, and Halloween was a good enough excuse for everybody to get together, just play some games and get people to know each other more, mingling and just hang out and play games.
The esports team provided games that included Uno, Fortnite, and Overwatch. The club is currently in a Twitter competition hoping to win $15,000. Steen says anyone's welcome to join the club.
Over the weekend, the Coyote cross-country team earned all Summit League honors.
That's right, Rachel. When we return, Kyle and Sydney will have details on that meet and more.
The Media and Journalism department has opened my eyes to a world of new careers and occupations that I never knew were possible.
I'm an M&J major because I wanted to be a part of something that is important, and whether we realize it or not, media and journalism is around us every single day.
The Media and Journalism department has allowed me to gain pretty hands-on experience and jump right into student media activities.
This is Coyote News.
This is Coyote Sports. I'm Kyle Ireland.
And I'm Sydney Funderman. The Coyotes had big wins over the weekend, and we have details.
5 Coyotes earned all Summit League honors at the Cross Country Summit League Championships this past weekend. The men's team, led by sophomores Alec Atwood and Charlie Babcock, finished 4th as a team. Atwood and Babcock won all Summit second team honors, coming across the line at 11th and 13th. The women's team ended the day in 3rd place. 3 USD runners finished inside the top 15 with Abby Ripperda and Abrielle Jurley crossing in 8th and 9th. The Coyotes will be off to Iowa City for the NCAA Midwest Regional on November 12th.
The soccer team will be the number 4 seed in the Summit League tournament. On Friday, they played against the number 1 team, the Denver Pioneers. Madison Sullivan put the Coyotes on the board first, but the Pioneers quickly tied it up. No goals in the second half led to overtime. Neither team scored in the first or second overtime, ending the game in a draw. This tie is all the Coyotes needed to secure a spot in the playoffs. The Coyotes then played for tournament seeding against the Omaha Mavericks in the regular season final. The Coyotes didn't get a single shot off in the first half, and the lack of attempts continued in the second, which allowed Omaha to score the lone winning goal. The Coyotes will face off against number 1 Denver tomorrow at 2.
The tennis team closed out their fall season at the NIU Invitational. The duo of Yana Lazarevic and Habiba Ali defeated a pair of teams from Air Force and a duo from Northern Illinois en route to winning the Flight 1 doubles titles. Anna Maria Bukina won in a 3rd set tiebreaker in singles play, making it to the semifinals, but fell to Odom in straight sets, ending the year with 6 wins and 3 losses. Lazarevic and Ali finished the fall season with 7 wins and 5 losses. Coyote News' Philip Larson is live in the muck with one half of the doubles team. Phil?
Thanks, Kyle. I'm here with Habiba Ali, who is a tennis player here at USD. Habiba, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So how important is it to end the fall season with a flight win in doubles play?
It was really, really important for us, and me and Yana wanted to win this tournament very much, and we were so glad that we finished it like that. It was actually a really good season for us in the fall. We won 4 tournaments, all of like the other us and the other teams. We won all 4 doubles tournament. We had 3 people in the main draw in regionals, which we never had ever in this program. So it's been a really good fall so far.
Awesome. And what separates you and Lazarevic from the rest of the teams that you have squared off against so far?
We were really, really excited to be partnered up and playing together. So we were attacking and we believed in ourselves that we can actually beat anyone, and we forgot about the logos and the names, and it paid off.
And looking forward, is there any goals you have for the spring season?
Yeah, our goal is to win the Summit League this year, and we were preparing for that, and we are going to keep preparing for that. So we're looking forward to it, and we're going to have a lot of home matches here, so we hope that people are going to come and see us winning.
Great. Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for being on. Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Philip Larson.
Thanks, Phil. The tennis spring season will start in January.
The Coyote volleyball team earned a pair of wins last week in the SCSC. On Thursday, USD hosted the Kansas City Roos for their annual pink game. The Yotes claimed the first set, but the Roos responded and took the second by 2 points. USD tallied 62 kills, 74 digs, and 22 blocks, ending the match in a 4-set victory. USD faced Oral Roberts on Saturday and continued to hit for over 300. Junior Elizabeth Junkie posted 22 kills and 15 digs to assist USD in the win. The Golden Eagles fell in the 4th set, raising the Coyotes' undefeated home record to 9. The Coyotes are 10-2 in conference play and will take on Western Illinois and St. Thomas on the road this week. That's all for your Coyote sports.
Coming up on Coyote News, students talk to us about the Mandela effect.
I like shooting live because you have a greater responsibility. You get to go out, get hands-on experience in the field, and you know it's leading you to something great for the future. I really like the teamwork and being able to communicate with people. We all know what jobs we're supposed to be doing, and we all know what needs to get done. There's something about being live outside of the studio. Being on your own, it's just a different energy. I like being part of a team and working together to get the perfect interview. I think it's worth it from all the experience and all the skills you're going to get from it. It definitely helps you break down some barriers and opens you up to new experiences.
My favorite part about the CDC is like the community aspect.
All the events have really good food and like activities and things that you just learn new things about.
This is Coyote News.
Have you ever had a moment where you thought something happened, but it didn't?
In this week's Out and About, we asked students what's the weirdest false memory or Mandela effect that they've heard of.
Here's what they had to say.
The Nightmare Before Christmas, Zero, the dog has a pumpkin nose, and I always thought it was red, but if you go back and watch the movie, it's not, it's a little pumpkin.
Pikachu is all yellow, and I thought he had a black stripe on his tail.
Kit Kat doesn't have the hyphen in between it, because I never thought that there was a hyphen between it, but apparently everybody else did.
The one with the Looney Tunes where everyone thinks it's Tooney instead of Tune.
The Fruit Loom one, where you think there's a cornucopia or whatever on the logo, and there isn't.
The Monopoly guy, I thought he had a monocle on all the time, but he doesn't.
Drawbering like the emojis, just because I remember like distinctly using it once.
In Star Wars, everybody thinks that Darth Vader says, "Luke, I'm your father," but really he just says, "I'm your father."
I always question if the Monopoly Man has a monocle or not.
Rachel, I put ice cream in my freezer and then I think it's there, but it's not.
A woman suing Kellogg for $5 million, accusing them of misleading their customers into thinking the strawberry Pop-Tarts contain more strawberries than they actually do. The woman's complaint implies that strawberry Pop-Tarts contain more pears and apples than strawberries. The U.S. Department of Agriculture reports that strawberries are almost 50% more expensive than pears. The complaint alleges that the company charges a higher price, which consumers would likely refuse to pay if they knew how few strawberries were in the Pop-Tarts. This suit is the latest in the series of class action suits against Kellogg's sales company for variations of the same allegation.
Pick up this week's issue of The Volant with a story about how a student organization packed over 33,000 meals. Also check out tomorrow night's coverage of the men's basketball exhibition game at 7 on Coyote Radio, 91.1 KAOR FM.
That's all for Coyote News. Follow us on our Coyote News social media pages.
Watch and listen for Coyote News daily updates throughout the week, also in Spanish.
Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.